Half a year ago, I was staring at the delete site button for what felt like an eternity. My entire life, everything I poured my heart and soul into, felt like it was crumbling. My business, my savings, my pride. It all felt like a relentless push notification I never asked for, constantly demanding my attention and draining my energy. I wasn't lazy. I was utterly exhausted. My brain super foggy from checking my phone every 45 seconds. I mean, seriously, who lives like that? And that evening, in a moment of pure desperation, I typed into Google, why can't I focus longer than a goldfish? And the answer I found didn't just save my company. Honestly, it saved my sanity too. Can you picture this? It was my daily reality. 100 unread messages before I even finished my breakfast. Slack pinging like a smoke alarm that just wouldn't stop. And Instagram reels showing absolute garbage while I was desperately trying to finish a client proposal. 2 years of relentless hustle, grinding day in and day out, had somehow shrunk my attention span to pathetic 11-minute chunks. I was sleeping maybe 6 hours a night, drinking more sugary drinks than water, and still my revenue had just flatlined. My friends called it burnout. I just called it a normal day. It wasn't just my business suffering, my passion, and the very reason I started this whole thing was slowly suffocating under a mountain of digital noise. I was losing sight of my dream itself. It was one day at 2 a.m., and I was deep down a neuroscience rabbit hole when I finally landed on this study from the University of Zurich. It talked about how chronic digital novelty spikes dopamine so high that your baseline motivation just flatlines. And what this meant for us non scientists, my reward system was completely fried. The researchers called it dopamine dysregulation, explaining it was the same exact reason slot machines empty wallets faster than you can say jackpot. And my phone had effectively become a pocket casino, and I was the addicted grandma, constantly pulling the trigger for another hit. However, this study flipped the lights on for me. It wasn't some deep character flaw I had, some personal failing I had to overcome. It was pure chemistry. My brain wasn't broken. It was just reaching exactly as it was wired to react to constant stimulation. I didn't need another meditation app to tell me to breathe. What I desperately needed was a system, something tangible. So I built one using everything I learned and tried. I borrowed heavily from peer reviewed papers and combined it with a little stubborn trial and error. And here are 5 takeaway rules I made up after the research I did. For the first 90 minutes after waking up, my phone stays on airplane mode. No scrolling, no checking, just peace. And the initial urge to grab it was intense, but then it actually disappeared. And the second rule is to only use one device at a time. If it is my laptop for work, then the TV stays off. If it's Netflix time, then the laptop is closed. Never ever use both. And this forced my brain to focus on the one thing I was doing. The third thing I did was a dopamine menu. I made a list of 10 low stimulus activities I could do. Things like taking a walk, journaling, stretching, washing dishes. And when I got that urge to scroll, instead of reaching for my phone, I picked something from the menu. And it was a conscious way to gently tell my brain, we're not doing that right now. The fourth rule was a notification fast. Every single app notification went off. Seriously, that's it. No more constant pings hijacking my attention. The last thing is the weekly 4 hour boredom block. And this one sounds cruel, I know. You have to literally sit without zero stimuli. No phone, no music, no books, no chores. Until boredom flips to creativity. It's tough at the start, but it rewires your brain like nothing else. And it's where my best ideas actually started bubbling up. And during this time, I was just out walking in nature and enjoying the view. Now, let's talk about maintenance. It sounds boring, right? But it's crucial. This isn't a one and done fix, it's a lifestyle. Every Sunday, I audit my apps using the worksheets inside my blueprint, and anything that steals my attention more than it genuinely gives me value gets deleted. I almost deleted my entire dream, everything I worked for, because my dopamine was hijacked by constant stimulation. And once I started treating focus like a skill, something I could build up and refine instead of just some inherent personality trait, everything changed. If your business, if your life feels like a browser with 37 tabs open, all looking for attention, start closing them one by one. Make a commitment. Start tomorrow morning. Phone on airplane mode for 90 minutes of deep, uninterrupted work. It's a small step, but it opens a massive door. And I'm living proof you can reboot your brain, rescue your goals, and maybe, just maybe even enjoy Mondays again. You got this. And if you want to know exactly how to break free from this cycle for good, click here to watch my video on how to reset your dopamine system. Keep growing, stay sharp. It's Lunden, signing out.